Hello lovelies, I'm Cameron. Welcome to my channel and to my office, my makeup artist office. I'm so happy you're here today and I'm really excited about today's video. In my last video, we talked about the expiration dates on our beauty products, why that's important, and ultimately I encouraged you to just get rid of stuff that's old that's probably not going to do our skin any good. If you missed it, you can watch it right after this video. But I realized after I thought about it a little bit more myself, and actually after having some conversations with a few of you over some messages, we didn't really talk about options we have to properly dispose of things, especially if we're trying to think with any kind of sustainability in mind. So I wanted to cover some of the options we have, especially as we're spring cleaning and purging and Marie Kondoing our spaces, ways that we can actually get rid of things that are not going to clutter up our space anymore, but aren't just going to go directly to a landfill. The first and probably best known alternative we have to just throwing stuff in the trash is traditional recycling. However, I gotta say, the recycling system is trash. It's whack. I say this because it's something like less than 10% of the things that we actually recycle end up getting recycled. And that's because there's not really a lot of conversation around how to properly recycle, and there's a lot of rules and regulations that we just don't know about. Lame. Here's an example. This is a bottle of foundation that I'm almost done with. When it's done, I would think to recycle it because the bottle is made of glass, the top is made of plastic. That's what we're told is recyclable, right? It's actually way more complicated. If I were to just put this in the recycling, it would most likely end up in a landfill because it doesn't meet all of the requirements. For example, this is not recyclable. Anything that comes with a pump or a mirror or a magnet or a wand is not recyclable. Not all plastics are recyclable, so you'd have to look into what's good to go, what's not, and they actually want you to clean out the product itself. So I'd have to go in and clean the foundation out because supposedly if you were to recycle dirty things, that just makes it less recyclable down the road, and again, you're not really doing any favors. So WTF. So if you can't tell, traditional recycling isn't the way to go for most beauty products. Basically anything that's small, that has multiple kinds of materials on it, especially if it has a pump, even like your lipsticks that have the plastic and the components on the inside, this isn't good for the traditional recycling system. It was just not built for these types of small things. So take it as a rule of thumb, if it doesn't have the recycling triangle on it, you're most likely not able to actually recycle it. So it's gonna end up in the trash. There are other ways though. There are some things that can be recycled easily, like for example, this is makeup brush cleaner. I'm almost done. I don't really have to clean it out necessarily. Maybe I'll just rinse it with water. This can just go in the recycling, but I think I have to throw away the plastic top. Again, I wouldn't know for sure, but I have to look it up. And some local municipalities, I don't say that word often and it feels kind of funny. Local municipalities have different rules and restrictions around what they're allowed to recycle and process and what they actually have the capacity for. So bottom line, recycling is difficult. You really need to look up your specific products product by product to see if it can actually go in there. And then you have to check with your local recycling situation to see if they can handle it. The second alternative we have, and the one that I'm probably the most excited about just because it's a really well thought out system, is TERRACYCLE. TERRACYCLE is a company that's been around for a while, and their main mission is to recycle everything, and recycle especially the things that are hard to recycle. I highly recommend just checking out their website. I'll have a link in the description below, and just learning a little bit more because they have a lot of different recycling programs for basically every aspect of life, from kitchen to general household. They have stuff for workplaces, and they get really nitty-gritty, but they also have a very generic personal care and beauty product recycling program. They just make it so simple. Take this foundation that's on its way out. Once I'm finished with it, or even if it's not completely empty, that's the beauty of it. It doesn't have to be super clean. You don't have to take apart the components. You don't have to separate it in any sort of recyclable, non-recyclable way. I can just send them this whole thing, or if you're going through your makeup stash and you've got your expired products or something that's used or something that your dog chewed on or whatever it is, you put the products you're getting rid of in a box. I keep this old Ulta shipping box under my desk, and once it fills up, you go onto their website, get a prepaid shipping label. Again, this is free. They make it so stupidly simple, and you send it to TERRACYCLE, and it gets processed and repurposed into like a new playground set or something. Amazing. The third option we have is to find out if brands actually have their own recycling programs. The third option we have is to look to see if brands have actual recycling programs themselves, because a lot actually do, and I was surprised to find out. Some of the brands that I found with a really quick internet search that have some sort of recycling program are Bare Minerals, Burt's Bees, Innisfree, L'Occitane, Lush, MAC, Origins Pacifica, Schmidt's, like the deodorant, Skin Iceland, Lila B, Le Labo, Kiehl's, Aveda, Garnier, The list goes on. Most of them offer the option, if you have an empty from the brand, you can either bring it in store or maybe even send it in online, and they'll either recycle it for you or they'll give you a free product in return or a discount or something like that. So that's always fun. Like for instance, the brand MAC, if you use 6 lipsticks and you bring the empties in store, they'll give you a free one. Cool. Other companies like Le Labo Fragrances, if you have an empty bottle, if you're close to a retail location, that's an important part, you're able to bring your bottle in and they'll refill it for you at a discounted price. That's really awesome, and that's something that I hope more brands kind of catch wind of in the coming years, because I think the beauty industry is finally catching up to the idea that we want something more sustainable as consumers and just as brands themselves kind of awaken up. Wake up, get woke. You know what I'm trying to say, right? Get with it, alive in. What? Another alternative we have as we're replacing our beauty products is just to look for brands that have a sustainable mindset from the get-go. One example, and a brand that I've been particularly impressed by lately, is Kjaer Weis. Not only are they super ingredient focused, they're all about non-toxic beauty, but they have a whole range of beauty products from foundations to blushes to lip colors to mascara that come in beautiful, sustainable, reusable packaging. The lip color that I'm wearing today is actually from them, and this is what the lipstick looks like. It comes in really beautiful, luxurious, fancy packaging. If you could hold it, it's very weighty, and once you open it, it looks like a normal lipstick. You pull it up, there's the lipstick bullet, but let's say you finished with the lip color. When you want to, you just take off the actual bullet itself, you're left with the packaging, which you can keep and it should last you for a very long time, and then you just buy the refills for the actual lipstick itself. You can buy different colors, but the refills come in compostable packaging. It's awesome. I really hope more brands start making similar moves. The last alternative that I want to touch on that helps give our products a little bit extra life and maybe a better home is just to donate them. This option is best for gently used or unopened products that we're just not using anymore. If it is open and lightly used, just make sure it's not expired. We don't want to give expired stuff to other people. It's just not nice. It's not cool. I have the perfect example. I bought this shaving cream pretty recently. No idea why. I haven't used shaving cream in years, but something about this just spoke to me. I tried it. I realized this is why I don't use shaving cream. I don't need it, and it just wasn't doing anything for me. So I'm past the point of returning it, literally past the point of no return. It's barely used, and I know that someone can enjoy it, so I can check in with my family and friends, see if anyone wants it, or check and see if anyone's accepting donations. Most donation centers, like your Goodwills and Salvation Armies, don't accept personal care products, so I just recommend doing a little research never hurt nobody, and just checking to see in your local area if there are any nonprofits or organizations that are accepting donations of this type. They do exist, and most of them seem to be geared more toward women and making sure that they have the hygiene products and some beauty products just to help boost them while they're in their time of need. Once you find one, look through their website and look through the resources they provide. Most of them have some sort of guidelines for the type of products that you're able to donate. Typically and generally speaking, places won't accept used products that have wands, like lip gloss or mascara or concealers, just because it's not sanitary. So you want to send in brand new versions of those things, or you can send in things like this that have less contact points. If you're not able to find an organization near you, or if you're not able to physically go and drop off product, then look online. There are plenty of places across the US that are accepting donations through mail. And that is that on that. I know that we're built to think with our own convenience in mind. It's something that we've all grown accustomed to as a society for a long time, and I realize that some of these practices may not seem like the most convenient. However, they each require pretty minimal effort, and they all offer some sort of reward. Whether it's personal or planetary, we all win. These are all just some small yet impactful things that we can do on a more regular basis. Hopefully they become more common practice and more widespread, while the industry as a whole just takes some notes and takes steps and makes improvements in the right direction. I know, we're all just trying to figure it out and enjoy ourselves, and I know some of these things can seem easier said than done, for sure. But ultimately, these are relatively simple practices that we can get in the habit of, and hopefully we feel good when we do them. I really do think that the better informed we are and the more mindful we are, the better off we all are. With that said, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I greatly appreciate you. As always, I'm here if you have any questions or want to have any further conversation about anything that we talked about today. Let's have that conversation in the comments. Please subscribe if you're not already, and I'll see you next time. Love you.